The effect of replicating the design of San Marco Square in shaping Tripoli's main square on creating the Red Castle Tunnel during the Italian colonization of Libya. Presenter Aida Mohamed, Ejroushi. The study expands on two previous studies concerned with the concept behind the design of Tripoli Square during the Italian colonization period in Libya from 1911 to 1943. The first study, Ejroushi 2019, demonstrated that Tripoli's main square was shaped by the Italians as a replica of San Marco Square in Venice, Italy. Interpretations were provided about the similarities between the two squares as well as the anonymity of the designer or designers of Tripoli Square. The creation of Tripoli's main square could be attributed to the economic colonial objective to establish the outside of the walled city development in the 1860s during the Ottoman colonial period 1551 to 1911. According to Select 2008, the Ottomans relied on French engineers and Ottoman military engineers to develop the city's infrastructure and draw a map for Tripoli. However, the first modernized design of Tripoli Square and its surrounding area was applied by the Italians in the 1924, McLaren 2006, but this design took its final shape during the 1930s after modifying the connection of the two sections of the coastal road, Lungo Mare Conte Volpi, from around the Red Castle to through it. Ejroushi 2021. The second study, Ejroushi 2021, revealed that the design of the Red Castle Tunnel was inspired by the design of the Stadium and Palace of Domitian, Domus Augustana in Rome, Italy. Interpretations were provided about the roles of two Italian designers, Armando Brazini and Florestano di Fausto, in creating the Red Castle Tunnel. The study argues that creating a tunnel passageway through the Tripoli's ancient castle to connect the coastal road was inspired by the existing inner court that characterizes the Doge's Palace and San Marco Square in Venice, Italy. According to Ejroushi 2019, the Doge's Palace matches in its arrangement in San Marco Square the Red Castle's arrangement in Tripoli Square. In this study, various types of mapping techniques, such as digital maps, historical maps, and figure ground maps, were used to compare the spatial configuration of the inner courtyard of the Doge's Palace with the Red Castle Tunnel. Moreover, the Google Earth program was utilized to map the shapes, orientations, and sizes of the two buildings' voids. These two maps were captured via Google Earth program. The map to the left shows the vertical void, the courtyard that characterizes the Doge's Palace building in Venice, Italy. And the map to the right shows the horizontal void, the tunnel that was created through the Red Castle building, Tripoli, Libya. These two ground floor maps show the L-shaped forms of San Marco Square and Tripoli Square. They also explain how the existing courtyard in the Doge's Palace inspired the Italian designers to create a void or tunnel through the Red Castle. On the other hand, replicating the Doge's Palace building form justifies that the design of the Red Castle Tunnel was a combination of a covered tunnel and an uncovered corridor. The two photos shows how the designer followed the arrangement of the solid parts and open space in the palace building in designing the tunnel. This explains that the reason for covering the two sections of the tunnel gates reflected the southeastern and northwestern wings of the Doge's Palace, while the middle space of the tunnel corridor left open because it reflects the inner courtyard of the palace. Since the northeastern part of the Red Castle Tunnel was left as a covered solid mass as well, it reflects the southeastern wing of the Doge's Palace. Results. The study shows that the Doge's Palace in Venice includes a huge inner courtyard similar in its location to the Red Castle Tunnel in Tripoli. However, unlike the horizontal void of the tunnel, the palace's courtyard is characterized by its vertical orientation. This difference between the alignment of the two open spaces supports that the construction of the tunnel was due to the need to connect the two sections of the coastal road within the castle. The study also demonstrates that the design of the Red Castle Tunnel was inspired by the configuration and the building form of the Doge's Palace. While the covered entrances and the solid northeastern block of the tunnel reflect the three wings of the palace, the open corridor in the tunnel reflects the inner courtyard of the palace. To conclude, this study examined the link between creating the Red Castle Tunnel and the form of the Doge's Palace in Venice, Italy. The analysis demonstrated that creating a tunnel through Tripoli's ancient building, the Red Castle, during the Italian colonization period of Libya was inspired by the existing inner courtyard of the Doge's Palace, which matches its arrangement in Venice Square with the Red Castle's arrangement in Tripoli Square. The findings of this study support the idea that the design of Tripoli's main square was a replica of San Marco Square in Venice, Italy. However, the individuals who were inspired by the forms of Venice Square and Palace have lasted anonymous because little is mentioned about the design of Tripoli Square and Tunnel.